Oh god, I'm on fire.
Look at my sketch. It may give you a clue.
I don't know what the go is with that. Oh no.
But that would mean that Paimon's elemental power would be enough to break through a mountain rock at least 10 meters thick.
Huh. Looks like Timaeus isn't here today.
Where are you, Timaeus? Ooh.
Customers?
Is it customers?
Oh, pardon me. Are you looking for Timaeus?
Just hold up for a second. This is new. I have... What's this?
No. Just strange for him to not be around. Paimon always sees him standing here.
Wait a minute. It's autoplay now? Oh, hell yeah! That's gonna make my my voiceovers or commentary so much easier. Thank God. Good on you, Mihoyo. Good on you.
I see. He was called away by Albedo a little while ago. I was called over to attend to the store.
I see.
I'm Sucrose, Albedo's assistant. If you have any alchemy-related queries, you could always ask me. I do my best to help.
Again with confidence? That is so mean. Okay, no... Hang on. No need to be nervous.
Huh? Do I look nervous?
Yes.
My apologies. I don't get out too often.
Yeah, I get that.
I'm usually in the laboratory, where there aren't many others to talk to.
Aww.
If you need any help, just call my name. If not, I'll be reading a book. Over there.
Okay, you are adorable.
Thanks. No worries. We're all clued up on the basics of alchemy, aren't we?
I might need a refresher.
Hey, aren't you the legendary traveler? The one who repelled Storm Terror?
And I don't even charge for autographs.
Thank you. I've heard so many stories about you. Always wanted an opportunity to research you up close. What do you mean, research? Sorry, don't mind me. What am I saying?
I wouldn't mind being your research subject.
I'd definitely be able to help Albedo. It is you, after all. There's that name again, Albedo. Is he also an alchemist in Mondstadt?
It's not a name I'm familiar with.
Apologies. I never introduced him. Albedo is the Knights of Favonia's chief alchemist. He's also Timaeus and my teacher. But Paimon's only ever seen Timaeus teaching alchemy. So that means Albedo is a teacher? Yes. He's dedicated himself to investigating the truth of this world, and has made many an important breakthrough. We often get alchemists coming to Mondstadt from all over Teyvat, seeking his help. They say that the subtlest of guidance from Mr. Albedo helps him to solve the most unfathomable of problems. Wow! Paimon didn't know he was such a big deal! Still, it seems that he's encountered a problem in his research recently. Every time I see him, he has a concerned look on his face.
My knowledge of alchemy stops at basic crafting.
I'm sure that Albedo would love to hear about your incredible exploits. I know it would bring him lots of new inspiration.
Let's hope so.
Albedo is a true gentleman. He'll be sure to pay you back in equal measure for helping him out.
But can he make Paimon stronger?
Paimon doesn't need any help in that department.
You certainly
But
do.
if Albedo wants to pay Paimon back for helping him, a few more
I need an off
months will
DPS.
score. Albedo and Timaeus will be conducting research in the mountains right now. I'd love to take you both to see him, but somebody has to attend to the store. I'm afraid you'll have to go to the entrance to the pass and look for him by yourselves. Look out for a refined gentleman with the presence of a true scholar. And...
That's not much to go off of.
sorry. That's the best I can do.
What?
You'll have to do your best.
Okay.
Worrying. We got this.
Do we? Okay, I'll believe you there. Off on a journey we go. Also, I have done a bit of off-camera work, if you can't already tell. I have gone and grabbed most of the teleportation points in both Liyue and in the mountain here. So, you know, we're gonna have no trouble at all getting to, what's his face, Albedo. Alright, oh, adventure rank rewards. I'll grab those first. I pulled Sucrose. How good is that? I was doing wishes just on the basic banner because I'm trying to get as many amber constellations as possible. Bear in mind, I've not gotten one, but I managed to pull Sucrose, and not just once, but I managed to pull her twice. So I got up one constellation. I think that's what gives her the second pull of her E ability, which is pretty cool if you ask me.
Absorption test.
Oh, I got 3. Sweet. Chicken. Alright, now let's teleport because I've got no idea where I'm going.
Sister Rosaria, so here you are. Choir practice is about to...
I've told you already, I don't go in for that kind of thing. I've got more important matters to
Like
attend to.
what? The choir, man.
This event has commemorative significance. The church hopes that all sisters will be present.
Hopes? That's odd, because I don't recall a fulfill the hopes of others clause in my job description.
Jesus.
I mean, sure, but...
But what? You're the event organizer, aren't you? Do you not find it the least bit odd?
What do you mean?
This far out from Mondstadt at this hour? Even if you set out right now, I'll wager you'd still miss the opening ceremony. Who knows? Maybe this is someone's grand plan to make a fool out of you.
Huh? Well, that can't be. People
No.
aren't like that.
Evidence decides what people are like, not your feelings. Maybe you're a little too trusting of other people. Don't fret, nobody's gonna blame you if you go back empty-handed. I can't imagine anyone else was delusional enough to think I was gonna show up. But if you dally any longer, you really won't make it.
You're right. It's a very important commemorative event. If I'm late, then... right. I
Run,
gotta get
Barbara,
going.
run.
Seems like that nun's an expert in making people believe anything she wants.
Seems like it.
I thought I heard something.
Uh-oh. We're
Who
caught.
are you and why are you eavesdropping?
We better watch out. She seems like a dangerous villain. Or a trickster at best.
Oh, really?
She has a
I'm
unique
member
model.
of the
She must be a
long-standing
villain.
Favonius Church. You're an eavesdropping pixie from who knows where, and you think I'm the trickster?
Wait, she heard that? Paimon was whispering so quietly.
With a high-pitched voice
And
like
as
that.
for this outlander you seem to be following... Huh. So it's you.
So you do
The
know me.
honorary knight that saved us from storm terror. Well then, given your status, I won't press you on your reasons for eavesdropping.
I do appreciate
Otherwise,
that.
depending on your answer, I could have arrested you on the spot.
Oh.
What? Do the nuns of Mondstadt have the authority to arrest people now?
Apparently.
We can't go turning a blind eye to hidden dangers, can we? Why shouldn't sisters have a sense of justice?
That doesn't sound right. But Paimon can't think of a good comeback.
Let's talk about you. What are you doing in the mountains?
We're looking for a man named Albedo.
If it's him you're after, I made a point of noting his tracks. Many people have made their way up after the snowstorm. Let's hope they're still there.
Oh.
So, are you also looking for him?
No, this is just a professional habit of mine. I sensed elemental traces in these tracks. Never hurts to be vigilant.
As far as nuns go, you're fairly mysterious.
I couldn't care what you think.
Oh, you should.
Come on then. I'd like to see what he's up to anyway.
I'm the honorary knight.
Rosaria
Whatever
said there
title
were
that
elemental
gives me.
traces in the tracks. They should show up pretty clearly with elemental sight.
We're using elemental sight a lot lately, aren't we? Don't know what the go is with that. Oh no.
You know, little pixie, your ability to appear and disappear at will is very interesting.
Oh?
Yeah?
After committing a crime, you'd be able to leave the scene without a trace.
You're so suspicious. Why is Paimon a criminal in your example?
Because you're just so criminally minded, aren't you, Paimon? Here he is. Albedo, my man. Sketching.
Is that Albedo? Why would he hang around a place like this?
The word on the street is he loves sketching. He'll
Ah,
hang
a man
around
of true
anywhere for a
quality.
good landscape. The views and scenery here are pretty good. Sketches everywhere you look.
But can't he see those hilly churros? Isn't he?
I get the strange feeling that's his sketch sketch material.
Uh-oh. Looks like we startled them. Enough talk.
up with me.
I'm just a bad aim at this point. It took me long enough, didn't it?
Who are you? Why did you alarm them? Thank the gods I'd already completed my sketch. Would have been a shame to leave these particular hilly trails unfinished.
You were sketching the hilly trails? I knew you were, but, you know, still, the question.
What's up with sketching hilly trails? What makes them so interesting?
I'm afraid the answer isn't easy to explain. If you'd like to have a look at my sketch, it may give you a clue.
When they lead up to this he loves sketching idea, you think about it and you go, oh, he must be a really talented artist, and then this.
Wow, look at the detail! But some of it seems to have been done in a hurry.
Oh, is it supposed to?
These
Oh,
trails
oops.
anywhere. Quite boring, in fact.
Maybe
Not
I
worth
judged too
closer
harshly.
inspection. But take a look at this specimen. The build, the coat, and there's a distinct force at work here. In the cyclical lives of such primitive communities, such unique attributes are an indication of evolution at work. Evolution, the transition from nothing into existence, from the known to the
Hold your horses. Ugh, something tells me we're in for a thesis and I haven't got the stamina. We found your man. I'm headed back.
Radio. See ya.
What? Don't you have any questions for him? Hey!
Apparently not.
What a weirdo.
What a weirdo, am I
Sister
right?
Rosaria brought you. Surprising. And I didn't have time to thank her.
Thank
But
her.
back to the
She did
point.
nothing.
From her words, it seems that you were looking for me.
Yes, there we are.
We met a girl in Mondstadt, Sucrose. She said you were stuck with your research.
Yeah, we brought her with us
I
actually.
see. So Sucrose sent you here. Then, if I'm not mistaken, you must be the honorary knight. You've got the whole of Mondstadt talking. I've heard a bit of everything. Your actions during Storm Terror's attack, your elemental control, and quite a few other mysterious things.
Like what?
I'll skip to the conclusion. There's only one possibility after all. You came from afar. From another world, correct?
You are worthy of your scholarly reputation, my dear friend.
Excellent. If I could procure your assistance, I think my research would benefit enormously.
Your research?
Forgive me. This must be confusing. Where should I begin? The essence of life?
That's one way to start.
Whoa. You want to start with that?
You're right. Giving a demonstration would be better than trying to explain.
That would be a good
For
idea.
example, awakening life. Breathing new life into
Oh.
fallen leaves.
I mean,
You can
that's a
do
pretty
that?
cool trick and all. Alchemy really is miraculous.
However,
But that didn't answer my
I have
question.
a particular seed in my possession. The method I'm talking about has produced no results. It's like you, in that it hails from another world. Helping it to grow, to bloom. That's the problem my research is up against. That's where I need your assistance.
I see.
Well, if you're struggling to figure it out, Paimon's not sure we're gonna be much assistance.
We could be lab rats.
I beg to differ. I'm unable to comprehend the intricacies of life outside of the known world.
And we're not
But
from
you're
the
not
known
from the
world,
known
are
world.
we? Yeah, Al,
By
spot
observing
on.
and researching you, I may just be able to find a way to get the seed to sprout.
So I'm an object of research.
Shall we just get out of here? This sounds a little freaky.
Nah. But, first of all, is there any danger?
It's possible.
Never mind. I'm
But
out.
we'll
I'm
do
out.
Time for a change of surroundings. We should be going. There's research to do.
Now who's the
Albedo and the
eavesdropper?
traveler seem to have hit it off. Takes a weirdo to know one, I guess. I wonder, does this constitute a risk to Mondstadt?
Here's your answer. No, you weirdo.
Paimon has a question. After the seed sprouts, will it grow into anything?
That is a good
I
question.
don't know, but I feel the importance will lie in the method not the endpoint.
Hmm?
Using alchemy to awaken otherworldly life in Teyvat would constitute a big leap in my understanding of the essence of life. After awakening, even creation may be possible. Still a little difficult to understand?
No, Paimon's got a brain. But what's the seed gonna become? Isn't that more interesting than whatever it was you were saying?
It doesn't seem like you understood. You must be small brain.
Well, if it turns out to be a delicious fruit, dinner's on me.
Yay! Paimon's holding you to it.
You sure know how to keep Paimon on board.
Well, let's just say I, occasionally have to look after a child.
That explains a lot.
Another lengthy explanation, I'm afraid. I suppose it's one of the few non-alchemy related disciplines I'm any good at. The subject of my first research was the elements. In this world, manipulating the elements requires a vision, though I can't see anything resembling one on your person.
No,
How you're
actually.
able to freely manipulate elemental power is something I'd like to ascertain. I've got a few questions in that regard.
Fire away, man.
Firstly, do you have any extra organs? A second heart? A fourth stomach? Things of that nature.
Not that I'm aware of.
Fascinating. And this floating child is connected to your body in some way?
I hope not.
Question. Can't you see the gap between us?
I don't.
Another thing, it's Paimon, not floating child.
Sure, floating
I was
child.
merely considering the possibility that you were an external organ. Perhaps there is some invisible force connecting you.
I mean, that would be an explanation for a lot of the things that occur with me, but I met Paimon on my travels.
Oh, that rules out that possibility. I wonder, did Paimon guide the elemental power to you?
I mean,
But that would mean that
potentially.
Paimon's elemental power would be enough to break through a mountain rock at least 10 meters thick.
Okay, never
Cause
mind.
the waterfall south of Springfield to
Does
flow
that
backwards.
look like... Does Paimon there look anywhere near as
No, that
powerful as you're
definitely
saying?
can't be it.
Hey, how would you know anyway?
In that case, it would appear that there's no obvious difference between the composition of your body and that of the humans in this world.
Is that good or
Given that
bad?
there's clearly a discrepancy in their research, it seems that only experimentation will yield the answers. Firstly, this mysterious elemental power. I'd like to examine exactly how it manifests externally. Let me lure a few slimes to the area. Perhaps you'd be able to defeat them,
Sure.
using whatever method comes most naturally to you.
Do you mind if I use Amber?
Doesn't seem very sciencey.
Direct and clear observation are imperative to a good experiment. This is just a simple exercise. Naturally, if you require a greater challenge, we could bring in 6 of units.
No, okay, we're good, we're good.
Slimes are fine.
As long as I'm not being battered around by hydro mimics.
Well, prepare yourself. The slimes will be here any moment.
Bet you can't. So don't break my glasses.
How'd I do, Albedo? It wasn't me fighting at all, but hopefully that
Did
helped.
you feel anything out of the ordinary? If you're injured, I have a few emergency potions ready.
That's alright, I've got my emergency rations right here. Just a bit cold.
Excellent. According to my observations, the manifestation of the external elemental flow is as expected. Elemental reactions are normal. There's nothing out of the ordinary.
Oh.
Now that we know that the external flow is manifesting normally, let's test the internal flow.
How are you gonna do that?
Eternal flow. How do you test that?
It's very simple. I can use alchemy to create a potion that will extract elemental power.
Hmm?
If the elemental power is stored or accumulated physically within your body, this potion may elicit an elemental reaction.
Will it crystallize in my stomach?
Sounds kinda terrifying.
Don't worry. In the normal course of events, you'd feel some temporary queasiness. No bodily injury.
And in the abnormal course of events?
If anything unexpected occurs, I've made the necessary preparations. Try not to worry.
That's not hugely reassuring.
Well, it's not that there aren't any risks involved. But if there is anything blocking your elemental flow, we'll be able to locate it with this test. Just a warning. If an internal elemental reaction occurs for any other reason, that's a bad sign.
This is like a health checkup, isn't it?
Yes, that's an excellent way to think about it. Before we get started, the potion we'll use for the test is missing a catalyst. We'll need to find it. It's a type of ore known as star silver, but unfortunately not all of it is suitable. I'll take you to my campsite. We can gather some star silver ore on the way. I'll point out any likely contenders.
Okay.
All going to plan, we should be able to begin concocting the potion when we get to the campsite.
Paimon's still got a few safety concerns, but it seems like there's a silver lining. Let's keep our eyes open.
Alright, fingers crossed. I'm starting to think this zone was such a good addition to the game simply because Pyro works really well in this place. And who is Pyro? Best girl? Yes?
This is my campsite. I've added the materials we collected to the concoction. While we are waiting, have a look over here.
What's over here?
My assistant Timaeus here is helping me with my research. I'm guessing you may have met in Mondstadt already.
Yes, we certainly have.
I've just gotten hold of the data from your experiment. The report
I've just
is
gotten a
already up
hold
on
of
the
the
board
data.
there.
Whoa! You got all these results from one slime battle?
Apparently.
I wouldn't call them results, inferences, and a few daring guesses perhaps. I think the most rational direction would be to expound on the phylogenetic relationship between this traveler and the slimes.
I would have thought even Paimon and I were more closely related.
Consider, you don't have a vision, but you can manipulate elemental energy. The slimes don't have visions either, yet they too are able to manipulate the elements. Following this line of thought, I'm sure we'll be able to establish a basis in fact.
Not bad for a point of entry. But strictly speaking, slimes are elemental life forms. In other words, beings consisting entirely of the elements. A cryoregis vine, or even a whopperflower might be a better analogy. But tracing back the phylogenetic relationships between plants and animals, you might have to trace back to the world's origins. In that sense, things might get difficult, don't you think?
Yes, sir. That sounds correct.
After all, we've got our primary data already. This traveler is a visitor from another world.
You bet I am.
If it turned out that he did have a phylogenetic relationship with this world, now that really would be something, wouldn't it?
Certainly would.
Ah, it would. Apologies. I was so excited to get the data. I'll slow down a bit next time.
Oh my god.
Speaking of data, to complete our research, we'll need some more. I'll be conducting analysis here for the time being. If you're keen for an update, just come and find me.
Great, I'll leave you to it.
He's a bit of a brown nose, that guy. Not Albedo, Timaeus.
Looks like the potion's ready. I'll try a little first. If all goes well, I'll hand it over to you.
Sweet, bottoms up, guy.
In line with my expectations. Ready to drink.
Cheers. Oh, I've got to drink. I've picked it up, but I've got to drink it yet. Okay. Oh god, I'm on fire.
Tasty? You've got a funny look on your face.
It's burning a bit.
You said you tried some already. You sure it was ready? What happened to him?
Oh, this was the result I was expecting.
He expected me to catch
A
on
very
fire.
positive one at that. This potion channels elemental power into the body. Under normal circumstances, a repelling reaction is to be expected. But if the internal elemental flow is unimpeded, you'll only experience momentary discomfort. Once the flow is complete, there won't be any other effects.
So you knew you'd be sick and still drank some?
It was my own concoction, of course. Only natural for me to be the guinea pig.
Out of consideration for the test subject, right?
But of course, you're my assistant. By all sense and reason, it would be wrong of me to place that risk onto you.
What a nice
Conclusion?
guy.
I'd say we have our conclusion. As far as elemental energy is concerned, You're no different from anyone else in this world. Nothing peculiar.
Aw, Paimon wanted something cooler.
We are cool.
Then again, better an ordinary result than a peculiar result. Peculiar results have a tendency to be of the undesirable variety.
I feel like you're referring to something in particular.
The good thing about ordinary is that everything is an object of reference, and everyone understands you. People are the same. They can understand, empathize, encourage, and support one another. When you're sick, a doctor can diagnose you because they are you. When something goes wrong, you can ask people who've made the same mistake for their experience because you are them. But a peculiar person, they don't have much recourse for the things we take for granted. The essence of their life is fundamentally different. For example, a human can't understand the life of a pyroregisvine or an eye of the storm. Have I explained it clearly enough?
I believe so. Still seems like there's another layer of meaning to your words.
To sum up, this has been a positive outcome. Going forward, you can use your elemental power without fear. Timaeus, the results of the new experiment are out. If you could see to collating them.
Just a moment, sir. I'll handle it. Oh, you gave me a lot to consider. Really stretched my limits. I'm thinking a lot clearer now.
Oh god.
Having you down as an animal wasn't very precise of me, but starting with the premise of an elemental life form, now that was...
Not bad. I think it's an interesting line of inquiry. Whatever the truth of the matter, I'd like your research at the fore as opposed to my judgment.
You can count on me, sir. I'll extract a result satisfactory to all.
Is he trying to join the Knights? He's starting to sound like a sucker.
Right?
What Paimon meant to say was, that's the spirit. Mr. Albedo, say something.
Before we can proceed with our research, I need to prepare something. Wait one moment.
Sure, man.
If you're interested, why not have a look around? It may help to pass the time.
Sounds good. Look at this table. This table right here. It's wonderful. This bookshelf. Oh my goodness. Look at it. Truly a masterpiece of a bookshelf. But the data. Look at all this data.
Here comes Albedo. Let's go see him.
Albedo, please take me away from your sciencey stuff. I don't understand.
I'm back. Did you see anything interesting?
I couldn't make heads or tails for anything.
Not to worry. They're all for alchemical purposes. You'd be hard-pressed to find an everyday use for them. Well, on with the research. There may be significant differences between different worlds. Take Teyvat, for example. Here, those with visions can manipulate the elements.
Yeah.
But worlds may well exist where only one person is able to do so. Or even everyone. So, leaving elements to one side. Do you possess any unique abilities? Ones that don't exist in this world?
Not that I know
I
of.
think answering this question calls for the same methodology as last time. In other words, time for the next experiment.
Am I battling slimes again?
No. You shan't be required to exert quite so much effort this time around.
Oh, thank you.
Now,
I appreciate
see this
it.
pillar here? Use your willpower to try and break it.
I thought you said less. Paimon, you give it a shot.
You think Paimon knows how to do that stuff?
Yeah, didn't you hear him before?
Was
You
your
can
best
push a
effort?
mountain.
Well, can't be helped, I suppose. Have you tried using your elemental power with food? I don't mean for cooking as such. Rather, channeling your power into the ingredients themselves. I'm curious to see how the taste and texture respond. It may even help with proliferation.
Sure you're not just peckish?
I suppose I have a curiosity for things that others find surprising. Anyway, why don't you cook us up a sunshine sprat? I've just finished preparing the recipe.
Sure thing, man.
Cooking? Paimon was looking forward to more mad scientist stuff.
Not only is this recipe a staple for me, it's also worth experimenting with and highly nutritious.
I'm sure the nutritious part is the what he's looking for right now.
That does sound yummy, though. Okay, Paimon approves.
I'll save you a fin or two.
Good buddies are always on the same page.
I'll leave you to it then. Looking forward to the results. If there's anything left over, maybe Timaeus can finish the last morsels.
Paimon Paimon doesn't think we'll have that problem.
Oh, Paimon, not even gonna spare the man some scraps.
We're gonna channel elemental power into the food.
Okay, so Sunshine Sprat. What does it take to make it? Sunshine Sprat. I need salt. I was hoping they'd give me the ingredients, but I guess I gotta go buy them. Alright, fine. Looks like we're heading back to Mondstadt. Come on, are these ones with salt? I think it's these ones. I demand your finest salt, old woman. Buy all 100. I've got the money. I've got the mora. Oh, who can make? Oh. I was hoping there'd be like a cool... Oh, I made a bonus one too. See, look at that, Timaeus. You get yourself a portion as well. Aren't I just a generous god?
An average outcome experimentally, but you've really brought out the flavor.
Why, thank you.
You seem well versed in the science of gastronomy.
I do
As far
aim
as
to
the
please.
proliferation hypothesis is concerned, we've come up short. Seems like food presents the same headaches in your world as it does ours. Unless... Could it be that the natural laws of this world are limiting your unique abilities?
We just didn't know how to channel elemental power into the food. It's a little more complicated than adding herbs and spices, you know.
I mean, there is truth
Not
to
to
that.
worry. At least we put some food to good use. No need to feel disheartened.
My thoughts
And
exactly.
here's your portion. Enjoy. I can box it up if you like.
Woohoo!
That's alright, I've got a second.
Glad you were paying attention.
Not often that Paimon gets this much attention.
I can tell that you're good friends. Paimon was keeping an eye on you and your safety during the whole experiment.
Oh,
Not that
Paimon.
Paimon would have been able to do much if things had gone wrong.
No.
But anyway,
Hey, you were being nice a second ago. But you do have tasty recipes, so Paimon forgives you. And you're right, we are good friends. You have good friends too, right? Good students?
I feel like we're gonna enter like some...
yes,
dark
unfortunate
backstory
too,
stuff.
I suppose. Anyway,
Yeah.
moving on to the next experiment.
This man's lonely.
There are all manner
I'll
of
be your friend.
alchemical items here. Keeping them in their proper place is a challenge at the best of times. A while ago, I had the misfortune of misplacing a batch. I managed to retrieve the majority, but 2 vials have been evading me. Animal crystal fly elemental extract and electrohypostasis powder.
Paimon's barely finished eating, and you want us to go gathering again?
Apparently.
Don't worry if you can't locate them. I was planning to replace them anyway. Though finding them would save me the hassle. If you had, say, a superpower, like night vision or vibratory sensing, lost property would be a thing of the past. I must have dropped them somewhere
Oh
in the
no.
area where you were looking
I know
just
where
now.
this is going.
So, guess we'd better take a look.
Yep. There should be some elemental traces on the lost items.
Oh yeah!
It's time for
Elemental
Elemental Site. Of course. Like every other mission has been asking us to do.
Goodness, you managed to find them. Incredible. 1,000 thanks.
Oh, it's
I'm
nothing.
wondering, this elemental site, this is what allowed you to locate the items and find me here on the mountains, correct?
That is correct.
Yep. Guess it does sort of count as a superpower, huh?
Unfortunately, though elemental sight is seldom seen, it is not unheard of in Teyvat.
Yeah, we're not
Only
special.
a never-before-seen otherworldly power would be of benefit to my research.
You mean we failed again?
No, I
Don't
wouldn't
be
say it
disheartened.
failed.
This falls entirely within my expectations. Besides, getting these items back, I'd call this a very worthwhile experiment. I have to commend your deduction that the items would contain elemental traces. Right then. Up until now, our research has focused on your otherworldly identity. Our research on your identity as one of us is just beginning.
With you to the end, man.
In essence, the differences between humans are reflected in our intellectual and physical capabilities. Let's start with physical.
Alrighty.
Looking out from where we're standing, can you see what Sucrose is doing?
Nope.
And if you jump from here and landed on that cliff, the one over there, could you see her then?
Nope.
So what about if you planted a single blow on the mountain face here, and it burst into 1,000,000 fragments? Then could you see her?
Nope.
Then I shouldn't get too excited. Still, We'll gain a more thorough understanding with an experiment. I know of a location that will be perfect for a physical test. Please, follow me.
Radio. Holy shit.
You want us to jump from up here?
Not necessarily. Not if you know of a better method, that is.
We'd better have a better... If you could English for a split second, that'd be fantastic. We'd better have a better method.
Whichever method you choose, the experiment will end when you reach the opposite shore of the lake. I will factor the time expended and your top speed into my comparative analysis.
The opposite side of the lake. So, we're gonna be swimming?
That's even worse.
Without
Look at the weather.
limitations, we complete tasks intuitively, using the method that seems most rational to us. Some of us would be unable to stand the icy waters. Others might find the whole thing rather refreshing.
Oh, God.
No matter what choice you make,
I don't want to meet
it's
those
all a
people.
part of the experiment. For me, every detail is invaluable to the research.
It's actually less stressful than the superpower part.
Then if you would, please, I eagerly await the results.
Wait a minute. While we're busy testing, what exactly are you gonna be doing?
Me? Recording data, responding to risks,
Providing emotional support.
Emotional support.
Yes, please.
Great work. I've never seen a performance quite like it. Your reputation precedes you, Traveler. The data shows that you're easily outperforming the average citizen in Mondstadt.
Oh, hell yeah.
But you followed us the whole way without breaking a sweat.
Me? Actually, I used alchemy to cheat a little. But anyway,
Good on you, man.
if it turns out that the natural laws of Teyvat do not affect you, I should be able to make various inferences about the otherworldly civilization you belong to. If the natural laws of Teyvat do affect you, then I shall be able to make inferences into the kind of evolution that would occur under the absence of such effects.
I
The
see.
innumerable possibilities that this could present, the captivating insights, it would be something to savor again and again.
But how does this help your research?
You've helped me to unravel many of the problems that were holding it back. When we return to the campsite, I should be able to show you something interesting.
What else have you researched this thoroughly?
I may be about to make some analogies between you and a few unusual specimens. I hope you won't be offended.
Fire away, man.
Old, petrified trees, a sun 8 times the size of our own. The essence of the investigative process is enthralling, but such feelings are inevitably fleeting in nature. I'm willing to pour all my energy into research, and yet specimens are finite. As the unknown transitions into the realm of scientific understanding, the feeling of enlightenment is lost. All these things that start out as objects of fascination end up possessing the prosaic mundanity of a sunsetia or a sweet flower. They cease to be noteworthy.
Oh.
Oh, so that's why you wanted to sketch those hilly trails? Because you got to see something new and interesting and the differences between them?
I see. That
Precisely.
makes sense.
To quote my exact words from earlier, these creatures are, for the most part, quite boring, not worth closer inspection. There is precious little about them that serves to pique my curiosity now.
So after all these experiments, are we gonna be, like, boring to you? Like sketches?
I'd sure hope not.
Of
I'm a
course
pretty interesting fellow.
You have been of great assistance to me, and I will
Like and
remember this
subscribe for
friendship for a
more.
lifetime. Now, before we head back to the campsite, there's one more experiment. Intelligence. Follow me. There are some other ruins nearby.
Alrighty. Will you lead the way, man?
I imagine you must have encountered more than a few conundrums during your travels. I'd like to observe your intelligence by means of a practical test of your capabilities.
IQ
as
test,
much as we did for
boys.
the physical test.
Wouldn't a written test
I'd
suffice?
like you to explore these ruins and return with your findings. There are
Okay.
2 puzzles located at the far ends of the ruins. After completion, you should be able to activate the mechanism in the center. As with the physical test, there are no restrictions. Everything you do is an action I wish to observe.
I'm getting good at these.
A tried and tested adventurer, I see.
Fair dinkum.
So, let's see you in action. Start wherever you like.
Righto. Where are we gonna go first? This one. So now it's going. If I send this on its way. So that should be... Yeah, got it. Aren't I the cleverest of boys? Probably not. Not with this. Oh god. Oh, there we go. Whew.
Get ready for the gliding champion of Mondstadt.
There you go. Oh no. Now I wait for him to get here so they connect. Or you could just not, apparently. That's also a valid option, apparently. Why? Sealing in the snow.
It should now be possible to activate the central mechanism. Exactly what will happen when you do is something I'm looking forward to finding out. Oh, seems that the water level has suddenly decreased.
Sick.
We should be able to see what's in the water now. What's this?
I feel like I've seen these before.
To the best of my knowledge, these belong to a script of some kind. They can be found all over Teyvat, but they've never given up their secrets. There's still a lot to learn about them. And as for why they should ever have come to rest here, a true mystery. Let me make a copy first. I'll make time to go over them in greater detail after our research.
Sounds like a plan.
Another thing for the don't understand list.
Of course.
Unsolvable mystery this, weird experiment that. It'd be nice to get some cool results for once.
But this is what science is all about.
I've truly gained a lot from all this. Comparatively, the little reward I can offer is too small to mention. Let me return to the campsite first. By the time you get back, I may just have a fleeting miracle for you to witness.
Oh? I'm excited now. I'll see you soon, but I take it I passed the intelligence test.
Paimon's kind of looking forward to seeing the results of all this brain ache.
Oh, heck yeah.
Unless you can think of anything better to do, let's head back to the campsite.
Nothing comes to mind.
Not so fast.
Ah,
You're not leaving until I'm convinced that nothing dangerous is going on here.
you.
You didn't leave the mountain?
I most certainly did not. And I've witnessed everything that you and Albedo have been up to. I must say, you let your guards down. Or maybe you were drawn in by his compelling sounding hypothesis and friendly demeanor.
Seems like a swell guy. But he wouldn't have any ulterior motives. What do you mean?
Taking orders from a complete stranger? Drinking anonymous potions? Participating in all kinds of strange experiments?
Hell yeah.
I'd sooner believe you were tricked than that you would be so naive.
Uh,
Or perhaps you were colluding from the beginning.
Listen, sister, your guard's so high you can't even see over the top of it.
holy shit, Paimon. Oh, that's a good one. I'm keeping that. I don't think he's a bad person.
It doesn't matter what you think. He could be a saint for all you know. But I understand him a little better than you, Outlander. I'm only concerned with one thing. Whether his alchemy has transformed you into something more sinister.
Just look at this gorgeous
No
face.
way. Paimon would have sensed it. And anyway, he didn't even use any alchemy.
With an alchemist of his level, you wouldn't sense a thing. In any
his
case,
alchemy
I'm not
level's
about
so
to let
high.
a potential threat back into Mondstadt.
So, what are you gonna do?
You came here to be sure, so you must have a way of assuring yourself at the very least.
I've got to hand it to you. You have your moments.
Thank you.
If I can be sure that nothing you came into contact with is dangerous, that's good enough for me. I've investigated everything else. The only items left on the agenda are these symbols.
Right.
We don't even know what they mean.
No, we don't, do we?
That much is true. Not to mention, seems like there's nothing more to them. But for insurance purposes, I'd better make a copy. This is now a location of interest. Regular patrols should be set up here. Now then, all things considered, I deem that you pose no immediate threat.
I am
Which is
glad
what
to
I was
hear it.
hoping. I would have been one very unhappy sister if you'd made me work overtime on your account.
I didn't ask you to check me.
Overtime.
Before we go our separate ways, Outlander, a word of advice. Don't be so quick to trust Albedo, and don't repeat the same mistakes that you did this time. You made a lot of rash decisions today.
I'm still alive though.
So stubborn. Mondstadt doesn't have many people like that.
Maybe she's just sensitive.
Huh. Never mind her. Let's go see Albedo.
Yeah, I miss Albedo. I need a sweet smile in my life. That didn't work.
You're back. Good timing. I've just about reached the conclusion.
So what have you found?
You took quite a while. Did you get held up on the way back?
Quite literally, by a nonetheless. What? Oh, no, hang on. By a nonetheless. Oh, I'm so confused. Quite literally, by a nun, no less.
I wouldn't worry. She's just doing her job. Time for
I'm
the
sure.
results. We got a myriad of data today, and it was very difficult to finish all the research in one go. But the integral preliminary conclusion that I can offer you is you're very much like a human from this world.
That's it?
You couldn't tell that just by looking?
You right?
We spent all day working our butts off for that?
Apparently.
Please, I understand that this may have seemed self-evident to you, but in fact, nothing in this world should be taken for granted. Have you ever considered that the world of Teyvat may have a natural hostility to Outlanders?
Perhaps?
I mentioned the natural laws of this world. You're able to converse with me here without consequence, and nothing seems amiss. But it's arguably a small miracle.
How so?
The only other life form that, like you, has come here from afar is the seed that I mentioned. Under the effects of Teyvat's natural laws, it isn't even able to sprout, let alone bloom. But after I observed you, I had another idea. Imitating you helped to inspire my alchemy. And so...
Whoa.
It looks like something's appearing.
How cool is that?
the transition from nothing into something, from shoot to stem, and now to fruition.
It's gone.
Is not nurturing otherworldly life also nurturing the world itself?
It was so short-lived.
It would seem that that's as far as we go. A transient bloom of incomparable beauty. Life's proudest achievement.
Paimon thought with all our efforts, it might have bloomed forever, and it didn't even have any fruit.
Life is a manifold tapestry of free entities. Its value shouldn't derive from how long it stays with us. Even a momentary burst is precious. A short life can be well lived. A life lived efficiently, lived to perfection, is necessarily one unburdened by loneliness. So, do you understand what I meant about us conversing here arguably being a small miracle?
I wonder how Lamine's doing.
Things feel a little heavy right now. Don't be sad. You've got Paimon to look after you.
And the good news just keeps coming.
Really wants to be your friend.
Thank you both. Even if dispelling loneliness is not essential for life, it certainly doesn't hurt. Your help inspired me to discover the means to make a flower bloom.
So I'm a helpful specimen?
I mean that the time I've spent traveling with you in the mountains was a valuable journey for me. In the future, if the need arises, can I solicit your help again?
Sure, man. Even if you just want some company, find me anytime.
Well, glad I can count on you. I made a point throughout of telling him how ordinary the results were. But what was that sediment I saw forming at the bottom of the vial? It should not have been there. What could it mean? Those born of earth are
He's
bound
keeping
by
a secret.
imperfections, but those born of chalk are free of impurities. You and I are alike, both composed of a substance that has yet to be fully defined. If, one day, I lose control, destroy Mondstadt, destroy everything.
Wait, what?
Can I rely on you to stop me?
Nah, hang on. When did this become a part of the... What? That's it? Tell me there's an Act 2. Right? Hang on. Oh, are you kidding? Oh. I guess that's it.